I used to avoid people on purpose. Not because I didn't like them, but because I was nervous. And it would be even the people that I knew that were crossing paths in the hallway or just even on my commute. I would purposely go out of my way to not speak with them because I had this feeling of anxiety or just self-doubt that I would even be able to bring value to the conversation. Growing up, I struggled a lot with confidence. And now here I am. I'm a personal trainer that helps coach people, and I speak in front of a camera and make a bunch of videos. Like I made over 100 videos on Instagram last year. So like I'm almost doing the complete opposite. So how did all this change? Like fitness was a huge part of it, but it wasn't like a one step like overnight transition. Now, I was never officially diagnosed with social anxiety, and that's probably because I never really talked about this at all to anybody. And the thing is I would actually go out of my way. If I was walking to class, I would take a different route so I didn't have to run into people that I knew because I was just scared so much. And I just didn't know how to talk to people. Like I remember there was this one time that me and a girl were assigned to go take a note across the school. This was in high school. And I just panicked. And what I ended up talking to her about was I asked her, do you like eating vegetables? Like a fucking idiot. And I just didn't know what to say. And she's like, Michael, is something going on with you? And I was just like, no, I'm good. And then I proceeded to ask her about like, what were you for Halloween last year? Like it was some weird stuff that I was doing in these social interactions just because I didn't know what to say. And I always had to think like a few steps ahead. Like what are they thinking about and what is the perfect response to what they're saying? And this just ate at me so much that it got to the point where I just kind of stopped talking to people. I started being branded as almost like this spastic type of kid. So what I would do in these situations, whenever I would get really nervous, I would just go out and blurt out some random shit. Like I even started calling girls bitches at one time. I'd be like, hey, what's up, bitch? Like that. And they would just laugh. It's almost like I had a free pass. And a lot of people thought I had like Tourette's or something. It was the wildest thing, but I was always known as the guy that would just be completely calm and then just do something crazy. Like how I actually met one of my best friends in high school was he was with his girlfriend, and I was just trying to say hi to him, and then what ends up coming out of my mouth was one of Drake's songs at the time, which was last name ever, first name greatest, like a sprained ankle, boy ain't nothing to play with. Like what the fuck was I thinking? And I realized that this was just a coping mechanism. Like I was so scared to say what was actually like on my mind and have a general connection with people that I would just blurt out stuff that I was getting validation on, which was just like some meaningless laughs that didn't really take me anywhere. And obviously this didn't help at all. Like my social skills suffered quite a bit, and it took me time to grow out of it. It was at this point I've already asked like two different girls, two different years to homecomings, and I got rejected by both of them. Well, actually one of them originally said, yes, I'd go with you. But then after that, she ended up texting me about like 4 hours later and said, I'd rather go with my friends instead of going with you. And that took a toll on me, like a deeper one than I kind of expected and than what people probably know. Like just that feeling of rejection killed me. And it almost made me not want to like be me, which weirdly was the thing that helped propel me. You see, so what ended up happening was I had this idea that if I could kill my current self, like not suicide or anything, like just who I was, I would be able to grow out of it because I was stuck in this loop of being this awkward kid that just like didn't know how to talk. So I had this idea that we didn't have anybody to be our high school mascot at any of the football games. So I decided to ask, and it took me weeks to build up the courage to ask if I could be the mascot for our high school. And that was kind of like the turning point of my life. See, as soon as I put on that mask, yes, I was nervous walking up to the field, but something just clicked. I was a different person. And I just started dancing around. I started taking pictures with people. I had the popular girls asking to take pictures with me. They knew who I was under there. I had told some people. And then I also ended up having like the cheerleaders lifting me up, and I just had like the best time of my life. And that's when I realized that I wanted to be this. I wanted to be this energetic person that was excited for life, that just wanted to be here. And I would do anything in my power to try and reach that level of authenticity when I'm like just talking in my normal body, when I'm outside of the mascot. And that helped me realize that like the more times that I'm uncomfortable in situations, the more I'm going to end up growing as a person. And that's what ended up making me think like, hey, what if I had these little challenges with myself socially? Where would I end up being in like a year from now? So I'd almost like force myself to go and talk to people about anything. Now, even after the first game, I was still a completely awkward kid, but this is when I really started challenging myself to sign up for these events where I had to talk. So there was this marketing group, it's called DECA and everything. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but basically you almost had to do like a fake sales presentation, like on the spot. And I hated them. I used to get so anxious before them. But like after I would complete those competitions and everything, I would just feel better about myself. And eventually what I would end up doing is like for the class presentations and everything, I would try to sign up to be one of the first ones to go, just so I could feel better about myself while everybody else is going, to get rid of that anxiety. Now, I still felt like I was about to piss myself every single time, but eventually that anxiety started going away just a tad bit more. It was still bad, but it was slowly starting to go away the more I put myself in these uncomfortable situations. But the biggest shift changed when my friend introduced me to the YMCA. You see, he was a skinny kid. He was actually skinnier than me, but then he got stronger than me. And he was looking muscular, and I was pissed. I was like, this is the one kid that was a little bit smaller than me. Now he's stronger. So I was fueled by jealousy in the beginning. So what I did was I just started lifting. I told myself I was going to do double what he was doing. I knew he was working out like 3 days a week. I'm going to do 6. Now, you probably don't need to do that, but that's kind of what my mindset was. And after going for the first, it was maybe just about a month consistently, I noticed a lot of changes going on with my body. I'm exceptionally stronger. And that's when I realized that I can change who I am physically and mentally, and I actually have control of my life. And I never felt that way before. I never felt like I had direction in my life and discipline until I started going to the gym. And I had like a victim mindset of being like, oh, I'm just a guy who was born with horrible like social cues and just couldn't really talk well, and poor genetics. That's why I'm not strong, and that's why I'm skinny, and that's why I suck at like sports and everything. But the real thing was I just never really put in the work to develop those skills. And that's what fitness gave me, was the power of knowing that I can take my life wherever the hell I want, no matter what other beliefs that people gave me in my childhood. Maybe it was because I was being told no all the time in my childhood, but like that's what unlocked everything. So as my body changed and I put on a decent amount of muscle in just a year, like everything changed with me mentally as well. Like I became a lot more confident. I would like approaching people wasn't as scary. It still is. It still is to this day for me. Like even talking to this camera right now, it's so awkward and it doesn't come natural to me at all. Like I was literally just sitting in front of this camera, like, I don't know, for maybe about like 15 minutes, just staring at it. Like when like I don't know. It's hard. This stuff is really hard for me, but I know that the more reps that I do, just like in the gym, the more reps that I do of this, the easier it's going to get. And to go back to the story, like as I started lifting more, confidence changed. I started getting invited out more to like parties and stuff. I wasn't that cool of a kid, but I started like climbing the social ladder, I guess you could call it. And that's when I started realizing that, okay, I can actually do this. Just stay the course. And then after college, I ended up getting into like a salesy type job. It was a recruiter, but like you're forced to like call people. Like you're picking up the phone like about 20, 30 times a day, and you're having these conversations trying to convince people to take a certain job, or you're just trying to build connections. And that was so hard for me in the beginning to get around because it just didn't feel good. Like I was anxious going into work the entire like first couple of months. But I knew that this was a step that I needed to make to continue leveling up. So I did that. And I kept on putting myself in these uncomfortable situations. And I eventually became a personal trainer. And I knew the direction that I always wanted to go was to post content online. So I secretly made some YouTube videos. You might see them like very early on. And I wouldn't tell anybody about them because I just wanted to get better at it. But it was so hard for me. But I knew that if I kept on doing it, it would get better. Then I started uploading I uploaded over 100 reels to Instagram within the past year. And I'm slowly getting better at even creating content and everything, no matter how awkward it feels. Now I'm trying to make long form content, and that's pushing me out of my comfort zone even more. But this is what I really have always wanted to do since I was a kid and watching like Niga Higa and Timothy De La Ghetto. Like that was my inspiration back in the day. And that's what got me out of my comfort zone. So my main thing that I want to do with my channel is give people that confidence from like a guy who like struggles a lot like with confidence and everything. I know it sounds completely backwards, but I just want to come at this as real as possible right now. And that like you don't have to be like that good socially to improve your level social. Like people think of me as an extrovert right now. That's the craziest fucking thing to me. Like I was not, I didn't grow up as one at all, but I learned to almost be one, and my social skills like on like a one-on-one basis is way better. Like I'm just way better. I'm more confident when I'm talking to people. Now the anxiety's not completely fixed, and it didn't fix overnight. It took steps, but that's the main thing, is just keep on getting those reps in. And fitness can play such a big role in you learning. If you can change your body, you can change your life, and you can change any aspect of your life. And if you want to make changes in your life, like it all starts with like one step. And it's one small, uncomfortable step. It might seem huge at the moment, but those little steps end up making you into a completely different person at the end of the day. So if you're someone who just struggles with confidence and wants to feel a little bit more control of your life, I really hope this helped. And like, if I can go from like that nervous guy in the corner at like some parties and just not talking to people to being a personal trainer that's coaching people on being better mentally and physically every single day, well, just imagine what you can do if you're not even at that low of a level of where I was. Anyway, just want to share that story. Please like, comment, subscribe. Like seriously, if you have any questions at all, feel free to DM me at my Instagram. I'll link that all down in the description. But yeah, please subscribe. And I really do want the best for you. And just know that whatever level you are in life right now, you can always advance it and get to that next one just by putting yourself in some uncomfortable situations. All right. Love you. Peace. Mwah.